Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Good to see everybody here for a last-minute live stream in one of the most interesting weather conditions I think I've flown in 2024 yet. Right now, sitting on the ramp, Providence, Rhode Island. Winds 360 at 26, gust 41, quarter mile, heavy snow, blowing snow, freezing fog. It sounds like we may not even get off the ground, but we're going to give it a shot. We're in the trusty 737-600. I really wanted to fly the MD-80, but I couldn't find any good MD-80 liveries that were for the anniversary edition, like the old US Air liveries, the bare metal, any old bare metals I was looking for. There's some new American ones that are coming out, but I want some old school TWA Globe, things like that. There's just not any good liveries yet, so we're going to be with the 737-600 on this one. Plus, it's probably better because I got 737 on my mind anyway. Just finished up OE last week. Had a couple days off. I thought I was going to stream earlier on, but look, I just had to unplug, y'all. I unplugged. I got away from everything. Flight sim, got away from social media, just hung out, spent some days with the fam, just trying to catch up on all that good stuff. So we're back. One flight today, short flight, but it's going to be action-packed, I think. Going up there to Halifax, Canada, Halifax, Nova Scotia, rather. Speaking of Canada, though, how about that U.S. Gold hockey team? Huh? Beating the Canadians at the only thing they claim to be good at, right? Man, gotta love it. Where's Gus when you need him? But thank you all for tuning in for this. It's going to be, it's definitely a last-minute live stream, so I hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. Touching grass is important. Yes, it is, Swissoffs. Yes, it is. AJ Frenard, my man, what's up? Good to see you, dude. 39 months says, who is this fucking guy? At least you have to have a Boeing to get where you're going. That is true. Hey, man, AJ, I'm in love with the Boeing, man. It's good stuff, dude. Finished up a couple trips now. I got 2 trips under my belt. I'm on reserve starting on Thursday. I got some long call reserve coming up, but yeah, we'll be able to talk about all that. My first landing did not smash, so that's always a good thing. Zach Dill, welcome to Private Pilot, my man. Good to see you, dude. Glad to have you here. Welcome back. Welcome back. Bill's Mafia's in the house. Tootco's in here. Haas 73 Max. Oh man, I wanted to fly the 73 Max today actually, because I just flew a Max the other day out to Nassau, so that was kind of neat. But, yeah, flying the Max, flying the airplane now, real world, it's been a lot of fun, man. Good to see you. Joe Plains, Mr. Chicago, what's up, man? Spent some Chicago airport appreciation time as well on my last trip. Hope you are well, my man. Good to see you as well. Miles to Budapest and now, so Mickey G. How's it going, my man? What's up, dude? Good to see you. Still looking for 2 peaks, or you got your apps out yet? Going to be flying some single peak 7.3 stuff here soon. Fubar, what's up, man? Great to see the U.S. get gold. Man, what a game, dude, huh? What a game. Supposed to fly to Boston tomorrow, Rusty. I got a feeling that may or may not happen. Probably leaning towards the may not happen there. So, Ken LeMay, good to see you, my man. Good to see you as well. Welcome back. I got to see why wasn't getting any audio from YouTube. Interesting. Yeah, we'll just rock with it. So, who's ready to do some flying? The 737-600, we're going to get it fired up here. Now, I do have it in an old school livery and the old school EFIS panel. Look at the snow already accumulating. This is, I think this is vodka in a WestJet 737-600 on IVEO standard. So, listen to this weather. I mean, I'm actually concerned for our safety on if we're going to be able to get out of here. I'm not sure. I do have the heavy profile. I do. Callie Simmer. I'm going to have to turn this down. I can't even hear myself over the blowing snow and wind. My goodness. Let's get this airplane fired up. Callie Simmer said, when are you planning to fly out west, IRL? Got some lovely weather here for you. Probably not for a while, Callie Simmer. I think for the foreseeable future, I'm going east and south from my current situation. But, yeah, it's. I would love to get out west with some nice weather. Looks special VFR to you? Oh, man. All right, let's go ahead and power this thing up. I don't actually know what audio. I think it's still going to be Boris, right? Because it's... because it's connected. Can I move the jet bridge here at Providence? I can. We're going to get the jet bridge connected. All right, ground power is available. Good. Let's go ahead and get this. Let's get the airplane booted up first. And then we'll continue on. All right, first things first, get the aiders into a line. That looks good. Boom, dome light, everything looks good. That's the idea. That's how we do it. Just one, boom, boom, boom. Get all 4 oxygen drop tests. Let's come down here, hit that. Beautiful. Oxygen drop test looks good. Coming across the board. PFD's coming up. Let's go FMC. Beautiful. Nav database out of date. I think we can actually change that in here, can't we? I haven't flown the 600 since it released, but let's do the little... Yeah, we need to install nav data on the tablet. Beautiful. Boeing pilot flying Boeing. About time. What's up, Ken? Hopefully you were spared from the CDF on your last trip. I was. It was beautiful weather in Chicago, man. It was like 60 degrees. I couldn't believe it. Now, it was extremely windy. I landed Chicago. It was my first real crosswind. It was, I think it was blowing 25 direct crosswind. We landed on 10 center. 10 center? 10 left. No, 10 center. I don't remember. We landed east, and it was a direct crosswind. My first ever experience in a 25 knot direct crosswind, the 7.3. And it wasn't the worst, but there was definitely room for improvement. Have I flown with the HUD yet? I have, but the HUD is not on the first officer side, so the HUDs are only on the captain side. So I have been downgraded. But during my type ride, I got to use the HUD, which was a lot of fun. So, ORD has days that aren't a crosswind. That is true, Turks. That is true. I actually hadn't been up to Chicago in quite some time. I forgot what it was like up there. You got tower at Ray? I can't even remember, man. To be honest with you, it was late night. We were late like 4 hours. It's a super long day. Flew up from Guatemala, so this is a long day. But let's go ahead and get everything programmed here before we get chit chat. I'm going to get the route cooking over here. I do have my old school FMC. Oh, we got to pull our flight plan. Getting a weird stutter too. It might just be because of the sheer amount of weather. Let's pull our flight plan here from the box. Boom, there we go. So now, if we do flight plan request, there it is. We'll get that cooking. Flight plan is coming. Was that 22.8 radio check? Who was calling? Let me get you turned up here. Radio check 22.8.
5x5, I think.
Yeah, I got you.
I just can't see you.
You in the WestJet?
Yeah, but I don't see you.
Yeah, I see you. Oh, maybe it's because I did 735. Hold on a second, I'm trying to... How about now?
Oh, you just showed up.
Yeah, so I had it as a 73500. You probably don't have that model. All right, up to the top.
Yeah, you look like you're in the Janet plane.
Let's go ahead and get everything going. Yaw damper's coming on. Fuel pump. We'll get center tank pump on. Wow, we have a lot of center tank fuel. We'll do this. But we're going to get rid of that here in a minute. So that's coming up. I'll put you up on APU. We need to get the APU started, though, because we need to get some warm air up in here. We're going to get things running. So let's get the APU started first. Get on that going. Fly USMC, what's up, my man? Semper Fi, congrats on your type ride. Thank you, Fly USMC, man. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Very, very kind. Man, it feels good to be out of training. I really enjoyed training, but it feels good to be done now. You know, just now I can actually just sit back and relax. But, yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Very kind. All right, I'm going to do some more SimBrief. Block fuel set. Payload is set. That is set. So let's go select route. Flight plan is requesting. We're cooking with gas down there. Let's go ahead and get you cooking here. Programming cam is all jacked up. We'll leave it anyway just to trigger Mike P. Let's go ahead and load the route. The ORD experience, the off-road third world equivalent, taxi down Victor and take the inner thoughts of what on earth is the point of the metering for recency. Yeah, true story. Actually, taking off out of Chicago too was just as spicy. We had wind shear alerts, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So, all right, APU is coming up. We'll go ahead and put APU on bus. And we're going to get window heaters on. We're also going to get probe heaters on the ground here. That looks good. Burnish the exit lights. That's off. Everything looks good. We'll get the logo light on. Everything's fine here. Let's go ahead and wait 2 minutes before we get the APU bleed cooking. So that's going to be clocked there. Cruise altitude today. How high are we flying up? Over to Halifax. Cruise altitude's 17,000. That's it. I tell you what, let's change that. Let's make it 250. Landing altitude in Halifax, call it 50 feet. Do the 24K bump. We're going to do all kinds of bumps on this one. I got to do a 27K bump, real world 800 out of Guatemala, weight restricted. It was excellent. We're going to leave the engine start in both ignition for this one as well. Coming across the board here, let's go ahead and get terrain up. Let's get the auto throttle armed, the flight director's armed. Let's get the FMC push up and reset. Boom, boom. Do the lights test. Tapes and 8s all looking good. Reset the master caution. Fuel flow. Reset back to rate. RTO is selected. Coming across the bottom, I'll throw you into FMC mode. Park brake set. Engine start levers are cut off. It's first flight. Let's do a little firing test. Boom, boom, boom. Bells and light. Good. This side. 2 lights down there. Wonderful. Squibs. Squibs. Fire. Wonderful. Everything is set. Squawking 2,000. We'll just squawk 2,000, put it on TARA for now. We'll stay on 122.8 since we are on a network. We'll juice up the panel lights. Aileron rudder trim 00 is set. Get the background panel up here for my wing ethos. All right, that's all looks good. Magic barrel ref is set. Let's set up our EF or MCP. We're going to be, we'll set 17,000 initially. 17 is set. Activate our routes, execute. Alright, let's go to the departure arrivals, departing Providence. We don't have a SID, but we are going to be blasting off runway 3 today, so we'll put, or excuse me, yeah, runway 5, rather, I can't read, runway 5, execute that. Runway 5, won't be able to put a disco in there, so we just know it's going to be a heading. Heading off the ground is 047, let's set 047. We'll be heading off the ground. All right, arrivals into Halifax. We're planning on the ILS. For SimBrief had us planning ILS 5 into Halifax. There is no ILS 5. Let's plan Localizer 5 into Halifax. What are the winds up there? Winds up there Halifax are 07017 gust 28. So yeah, let's plan on runway 5. Approaches for 5, localizer 5, or we can do the RNP 5. Either way, we'll load up the localizer for now, change it in route if need be. We'll take it all the way out to a Horo transition. The star that we were filed was the Peggy 5. And Peggy 5 is coming off the Tusky transition. Execute that. Wonderful. All right. Route is in the box. Beautiful. Perfinit. 0 fuel weight. We'll copy that over. That looks good. Reserve fuel today. Actually, we can do this proper. Let's bring the pmdg tablet down here. Let's take a look at our flight plan itself. What we got for reserve fuel? 2,000. Alternate is 5,000. Wow, really? 7,000. Let's call it 7.0 for reserves. I've got 3 kids. Let's make what? I got 4 kids. Let's make it 10,000. 10,000 there. Cost index 55. Final cruise altitude. I modified that. We're going to go over there at flight level 250. While we set that, let's set the roof. We did 250. We set both places. Excellent. Alright, so we got 250, that looks good. We'll execute that. N1 limit. We are going to do a 24K bump. No derate because of extreme contamination. So 24K bump, no derate. Flaps. Tell you what. Let's go flaps 5. I hate to go 5, but I want to see, I want to hear the flap side. So we're going to go 5 on that. CG will bring you over. We're using reserve fuel, so we'll take a look at that. Might throw some extra gas on board. We're going to use QRHV speeds, and before we use QRHV speeds, let's actually do this. Let's go to the next page. We're going to use the QRHV speeds today. Runway wind is So if you're going to use the V-speeds, this is a good learning lesson for you. So if you're going to copy these speeds over here, I guess I don't know if you're looking at the hardware camera or not, but if you're going to use my mouse too, if you're looking at these QRH V-speeds, technically you need to set the takeoff page 2 before setting those. So to set takeoff page 2, we're going to do that first. We're going to take the current winds out of here. Winds are 350 at 2.4. 350 at 2.4. The runway slope, we'd find that at the bottom of our flight plan or in the performance section. I don't know if SimBrief publishes the slope for us. Does SimBrief publish the slope? Here's your landing elevation. It's runway 5. I gotta go all the way to the bottom. Let's see if SimBrief publishes runway slope. I don't think it does. That's the temperature. Anti-sweat runway bleeds on. Ooh, we should do bleeds off too. You want to do bleeds off? What the hell? We'll be a rocket. No, I don't see any slope data, so let's call it 0. We'll be fine. We'll call it 0, and we're not going to derate. So you see takeoff speeds deleted. That's correct. Whenever you modify this portion, the bottom portion should be modified, or the V speed should be deleted. We're going to do 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 across the board. That's standard for us. This is European 1,500 here. All right, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 set across the board. No slope, no derate. We're doing a wet, skid-resistant runway. So we'll do wet, skid-resistant. Now we can go back to page 1, and we can connect 16, 18, 28. We'll set 128 up here in the MCP. 128 is set. Course line 047. 047 both sides. 047 is set on both sides. If we have to come back for some reason, we're probably not coming back in here. But let's do 109.5 in the freaks. Oh, I need to change this to the old radio panel. 109.5 in the freaks. 047 is set both sides. Wonderful. All right. That's all done. We've had more than 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and get these on. Let's get the APU bleed on. Let's get this warmed up in here. Oh, this is a whole different overhead, too. What the heck? Oh, wow, this is an old bleed panel. All right, cool. We're going to warm it up here. Passenger cabin is 40 degrees. All right. That's coming up. Reset the caution. Let's go ahead and bring this back over here. Let's go back to full screen cam. Let's turn the music off. We'll get ready to blast out of here. Man, I'm so rusty streaming. Sorry, guys. So rusty. Jesse, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Had a sampling of in-flight slop? I have. You know what? Hey, man, it's actually, I've had worse. I'm sure I'll get sick of it, but it wasn't terrible. All right, speeds are set. Everything is good. You guys ready for a quick departure review? And then we'll get out of here. So, matter of fact, I'll put this back up. All right, let's do a quick route review here. Providence, Halifax, Southwest 357. We're going direct Providence, Victor 167 peak, direct LFV. From LFV, direct Tusky, direct UCAS. And then that's on the that's arrival transition. Moving to legs, Providence, plan mode. Bring you down, data's up. All right, Providence, Tudor, Zunix, Peak, LFV, Tusky, Etgear, Oddcuss, below 200, above 3,000. That's on the approach now, so we can skip that. I've got a total route distance today, 421 miles. That checks. We'll do a route copy. Really, 421? That seems long. All right. That is all set. Performance, gross, let's see, zero fuel 106.6, reserves of 10, cost index 55. We're going to bump that up to 88. Cruising over there, flight level 250, standard transition using reserve fuel. That's me. I'm going to knock it back down to 7 like it should be. All right, 18,000 transition. Takeoff, we're doing runway 05, flaps 5, 16, 118, 128. CG of 24.4 trim should be 4.9 units. Expertly set. We're using QRH V speeds with a wet skid resistant runway, 0 slope, 1,000 is set. Alright, performance review. We got a wet runway, we got wet numbers, we got flaps 5 full length, and 91.2 is what we're looking for the thrust. No questions? No questions. Alright, let's get out of here. Do I miss the trade table yet? Sandman. I do. I do miss the trade table. Alright, this is going to be interesting, guys. How are we even going to figure out where we're going? Ground ops. Let's go ahead and... are we on buses? We are. Release. Release. Beacon light. And fuel panel will reset view. Center tank pump fuel is off. That's back to normal. Alright, let's go ahead and fuel pumps. Boom. Boom. That's set. Everything's ready. Doors out. Lights out. We're ready to push and start. Fill you up for engine start. We actually don't even need that. My goodness. Providence traffic, Southwest 357, pushing back gate 3. LP. Where are we de-icing? I don't think I can de-ice. Chocks removed. Brakes released. I don't think I can de-ice. No winglet is juice. I know, man. Use the slider. Where's the slider? Nah, we're gonna. Nah, I'm not using no dev menu. We're gonna YOLO. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We end the stream. We'll go to lunch with the kids. We ain't got time to use dev options. No de-ice and thrust we trust. We'll do. I'll tell you what. So this would be an interesting configuration because we would be bleeds off. Man, we wouldn't be able to run the airline. So we'd have to do a two-step configuration change here. Let me think about this. So we'd have to go bleeds off. APU on. No, we'd have to keep a bleed on. We'd have to go bleeds on. Packs off, APU on for the... Man, I don't know. I have to consult the QRH. Yeah, we're just gonna Toga. We're a 600. We're gonna have plenty of power. It's just if we're gonna be able to fly or not. Once we get up to speed. Push complete, set brakes. Brakes set. We're going to disconnect. We're going to start them up. 1, then 2. Here we go. Packs off. Grounding 2. It's in the drop down. It's just like de-icing. Nah, I ain't got time for that. It's under the dev menu. I don't have time for that. Jump seat home on Airbus yesterday. Maximum jealousy. Sam, you're back in the schoolhouse, buddy. We'll let this thing max motor. Let's get a nice max motor and fuel on. I'll tell you what, Sam. The 7.3 is not as uncomfortable as I thought it would be. Golly, it's so loud. The weather's insane. My sister lives in Connecticut. My sister is pretty harsh and she can't leave the house. Ooh, man, hope she stays safe, man. You gotta stay safe out there, too. My sister is just south of all this nonsense right now, so she's alright. Alright, we got a good start on 2. Now, this is technically southwest, so we're gonna go ahead and move you to Kant. On Jen, grounding 1. I'm doing southwest procedures on this. Which seats are better? Airbus seats, no question. You know what I actually miss more than the tray table? Believe it or not, here's a hot take. What I miss more in the Airbus cockpit, or what I miss from the Airbus cockpit more than the 7.3 is the movable seat and the highly adjustable, customizable seat in the Airbus cockpit for more than the tray table. Tray table comes shortly after. Don't forget Southwest taxi speed even in the blizzard. AP won't work for anti-icing engine bleeds only. Yeah, that's right. So, but I was thinking, so you would have to do, you'd have to keep the bleeds on. You could do packs off, APU on. That way you don't, and that's how you would do that, so you wouldn't get de-ice fluid into the cabin. Alright. We got 2 good starts. We're going to go gen on. And we're going to go 1, 2. We're going to get those all on. We're going to go auto, auto. That's coming off, auto. Alright, and we're going to wait to deploy the flaps. We're going to expeditiously taxi. I'll tell you what. Yeah, let's kill the AP. I was going to leave the AP. AP's coming down. Brakes released. And we got to go to runway 5. Where are we here? So we just pushed back. We're going to go Charlie Mike. Providence traffic, Southwest 357 taxi to runway 05 via Charlie Mike, Providence. Unless we can make the left. Can we make the left? Yeah. I think we can make the left turn. Scratch that. We're going to make the left turn here. Go Tango Mike, Southwest 357. Slam Cannon is in the house. Been a while. I have to adjust my brain for V1 simulation. Boeing pilot, did they use check, hold, close in training? Congrats, man. Slam Cannon, my man. How you been, dude? It's been ages. Why don't I have nose wheel steering? I think it's just ice. I think this ramp is ice. I can't even turn. We got a problem here. I can't turn. There's no friction. I think we're just on an icy ramp. Oh, no, hold up, hold up. You know what it is? Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold stop. Passwords, options, simulation. There we go. Rudder tiller. There we go. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Gotta get the tiller on. Still barely can make this turn here. You had that happen to me? How to do maintenance in hydraulics? Let me check hydraulics here in a second. Let me get straight. Alright, you go to comp. Hydraulics are all set. Hydraulic pressures and quantities are good. I think it's just there's no friction.
I'll talk to the engine.
Alright, we're looking good now. And it's so weird looking at this PFD setup here. Alright, so I'm going to swing wide here. We're going to make a left turn and then a right turn. Slow it down. We're waiting to do our after starts until we get short of the runway. Look at that windsock. Got up one with your tires like NASCAR style, duh. What's up, T-Tide Company? Hope you've been well, man. Good to see you, buddy. Why does it say echo? Get lost. There's Mike down there. barely see it. Great man, what's up, man? Is ice buildup simulated 24? Yes, it is. It is simulated. We also need to do those ice shedding procedures. Here's NG, 50%, hold the brakes. I can't do it right now. We're going to go into this turn here, so nice and easy. We all know it's simulated an X-plane. Does it affect the tarmac? Slam. This is the first time I've had to be really careful with steering. It wanted to just slide. It's almost like there's ice. It looks icy to me. So I think it does, man, which would be new. Because I was trying to steer and it just would slide. The wheel would come over and would slide. Alberto D, my man. Good to see you, buddy. Slam, so where you been, man? It's been ages, dude. It's been ages, Slam. Hey, WestJet, did you have any steering issues?
Oh yeah, sliding all over the place.
We're losing even more biz here. Weather radar's on. TARA. Number 1 for takeoff. I mean, we know the weather radar is FUBAR. Let's just put it in terrain mode. What intersection is this? This is Mike 2. So we're going to go one more. We're going to get full length. All right, once we go past Mike 2, let's go ahead and set. Let's do our after start. So let's go ahead and set flaps 1 or 5. Flight controls. Recall.
You realize you're going 9.
Doing things there, man. All right, after start checklist. Anti-says required generators on, air conditioning and bleeds are set. Flaps set. Flight controls check. Recall check. After start check is complete. Before takeoff, let's go ahead and run this. Takeoff data and bugs. Close out, received and check. Flaps 5. Green light. Stab trim 4.9 units set. Takeoff brief complete. HUD is set. Generators on. Air conditioning and the bleeds. Auto and set. Before takeoff to the line. We can close it out. We don't have takeoff config. Boom. Before takeoff, below the line. MCPND check. PA is complete. Lights. Before takeoff checklist complete. Should turn those on. Cap for Providence. Alright. Providence traffic Southwest 357 departing runway 05 Providence. Real easy here. If you like chasing blizzards, please do hit that like button for me. Man, that straight wing looks great, doesn't it? AJ, Boomer V1 driving a silver-colored Buick LeSabre. Oh my goodness. Thanks for the $3 super chat, AJ. Alright, we're gonna do a 2-stage run up here.
Halifax, WestJet 646, we're going to hold here at link 2, depart from here because our scenery doesn't go any further.
Alright, so he's holding there. Look at that. You can just barely see his tail. Alright, here we go. Spool him up. 40.
Oh, sorry,
Benny, what's up, man? Happy to see you, man. Happy to see you too, buddy. Alright, 40. 50. Start the clock. Make sure all indications are normal. Everything looks good to me. Vibes on the right are just a little bit lower than the ones on the left. Everything looks good to me. We don't have to wait to full 30 if all indications normal, so that looks good. Yoga's in chat. Start praying, Diabetic Lad. Here we go. Toga. Oh, buddy. I got... Oh, buddy.
V1 rotate.
Oh, buddy.
Positive rate of climb.
You're up.
Halifax, Westchester.
Fly with. That freaking crosswind. Heading select.
Sorry.
Level change. Set speed. Heading select. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Make a right turn 080. Halifax traffic, Southwest 357 out of 3,200. Right turn northeast, last call Halifax.
It's probably.
Golly. Oh, let's go legs. Let's go direct to tutor. Execute. LNAV. VNAV. F takeoff, RTO's off, brakes off. We need the ice. We'll get you back on. Wow. I'm glad we're not landing back there. That's why you can't do yoga from the wing view in that kind of wind.
Robbie WestJet 646 departing 05 to the east.
We're out of it just like that. That's freaking cool, man. Man, I was actually a little bit nervous there on the takeoff. Just a bit nervous. Oh yeah, and I hit Toga. The airplane just went. I had full right rudder in there. It was like, nope. But then, I mean, it did come back. I think in 2020 PMDG, that thing would have just continued left the center line. I will say this: what I've noticed on the 7.3 real world, tracking runway centerline on takeoff roll is actually a little bit easier than the Airbus, I think. The Airbus tends to want to walk a little bit, just a little bit more. So you got to be a little bit more on your feet, just a little bit. The 7.3, I mean, even taking off in a pretty good crosswind out of Chicago, it was, she tracks at centerline pretty good. All right, we're climbing up. I'm going to keep hand flying here for a minute. You like that, Jesse? Man, we're at 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and go off. Then we're doing Southwest procedures today. Those will come off. We'll chime them there. Beautiful. Kill the wing anti-ice. A little bit bumpy. Does the 7.3 climb better than the Airbus? Yeah, it does. It does indeed. that. Command A. Bueller. Vodka? What'd you do to my profile? Well, that's not good. We're gonna keep climbing. Reconnect my yoke. We're gonna keep going 250. Keep climbing. Alright, hold on here. Let's try something. Let's go speed intervene. Let me lock you in here. I got an idea. Oh, why is it on beach 18? I don't even know. There we go. Okay, we're good. Crisis averted. Wrong profile. No, no speed break. It was the wrong profile. I'm always on beach 18. Oh, 600 dash 600. Maybe it has a different. I should have set something differently, and obviously I should have. All right, we're cooking with gas now. Let's go ahead and close the window. VNav, accelerate. Looks like there's some weather up there just to between peak and LFV. I'll tell you what, let's yeah, we'll stay on route, that's fine. All right, we're climbing out. We're out of 18,000 now too, so we get the rest of our lights. I forgot the chime at 10,000. All right, everything else looks good. Get rid of the engine anti-ice. Cabin is moving. Crisis is averted. Wow, look at that view. Do we need a window on this one? Let's see. See, I like my windows on the pmdg. I didn't bind this one yet to a window though, because I try to keep one view of the wing clean, but we might have to stick with the. That's real life right there. All right, well, that was extremely task saturating. I was not anticipating it to be that much of a saturated takeoff roll, but here we are. Now I can finally catch up with you guys. I guess since we didn't get good 7.3 Classic, we'll make the NG a cursed Classic. That's what I'm doing, Scalber. I really want the US Airways, the Metrojet. Whiskey Throttle had an awesome Metrojet one. The US Airways Blue, I think J'Aviation had one of those. Man, there's so many good liveries for the 500 7.3 and the 400 7.3 that creators made in 2020, but none of them are updated. I don't think there's hardly any liveries on Flight Sim TO for the 73600 in 2024, which is unfortunate. This one is a default livery, but I would love to see some more. Just I don't know how extensive the update would be for the livery creators to make a 2020-2024 version. But there's some really good liveries on the 600, which is why I really enjoy flying this airplane. Because you could kind of make it your pseudo classic. I mean, look at that. Canyon, gold, straight wing. Doesn't get much better than that. When they were first delivered a couple years ago, it went to EFIS. That was way for 300 community. Yep. Yes, it was. And Southwest didn't even use VNav until like the mid-20 teens, right? All right, we're finally leveling flight level 250. It looks like we might be right on the tops of 25. Let's see if we can get higher. Let's go ahead and make our new cruise altitude 290. All right, 290 once, 290 twice, and let's go cruise page, reset you 290. Boom, execute. I'm late. What's our destination? Max Parks. What's up, man? You're not late, dude. You're here. We're going to Halifax, Nova Scotia, which we just departed Providence. I kind of wish we flew the other way, bud, because we should have gone Halifax to Providence, but I don't know if we would have had to auto land that. I don't think we could have done that without auto landing here in Providence. But right now, we're going up to Halifax, home of my first ever Harspeed RTO and an Embraer 190. Let's see. Weather for Halifax, latest and greatest, is showing. Ooh, we got a special. Halifax, 08026, gust 33. Oh my goodness. 8th mile. Heavy snow, blowing snow, vertical visibility 7. Okay, so we're cooked on the localizers, what this is telling me. We're gonna have to do the ILS probably. Cat 2 to 2-3. Oh, that's gonna be a tailwind though. The only Cat 2 runway is 2-3. We might be hosed. What was the ceiling? 8th mile. 8th mile? What's our alternate vodka? We need for the ILS or localizer 5, we need 1 mile. So we can't do that. What about the RMP? Ooh, we need half mile. We need a half mile for the RNAV Zulu to 5. We need 1200 RVR for the Cat 2. We need to do a. Let's take a seat here. Well, we're gonna get in study mode here for a second. Let's get in study mode. Let me look. We're gonna do calculate the winds here for real. Runway course in Halifax, if I wanted to land 2-3, is actually 233. I need to find out exactly how much tailwind we have. 24 for 25. Alright, so let's do a wind calculation. We'll use our fancy tools that we have available to us. Wind 080 at 26. That's going to be right down the frickin' tailpipe, guys. 080 at 26. Alright, land app. 7.3, flaps 40. Oh, here's a fun fact. So all the talk of all flight sim, all I know about the 7.3 before I started flying it was what I knew from flight sim. It's like, oh, you only land flaps 30, flaps 30. Guys, I'm here to tell you, I've landed the airplane. How many landings do I have? Well, I don't know. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm probably around a dozen landings right now. I've done all but 10. Well, no, all but, if I have 12 landings, let me put it this way. I've done all landings flaps 40 except 3. I did a flaps 15 and I did 2 flaps 30s just for practice for IOE. They want to see a flaps 15, which is flaps 15 is kind of a nothing burger. The only problem, I don't know why you would ever land flaps 15 because you're just going to smoke the brakes every time. You're coming in even faster. Flaps 30 is fine, but here's the thing with flaps 40, the airplane, I actually prefer the way it handles at flaps 40. At 40 flaps, the aileron or I want to say sensitivity. How do I say this? At flaps 40, it's easier to induce a PIO in the roll. So at flaps 40, when you're coming down the ILS or the approach, whatever it may be, it's easier to start doing this number here, left, right, left, right, left, right, because the airplane seems to be a little bit more sensitive isn't the right word, but responsive perhaps. It's more responsive in roll at flaps 40 than it is at flaps 30. But I actually think it's more, I don't know, it feels more like the, I don't know, you have to work less on the yoke, if that makes sense. At flaps 30, in really windy conditions, you're going to be muscling that yoke around. And when I did my flap 40 landing Chicago with 25 knot crosswind gusting, whatever, I just assumed, I was like, hey, are we doing flaps? What do you want to see, flaps 30? He's like, no, you like 40, let's do 40. Because my Czech airman, he was of the same mindset that I am. I'm like, man, if it's gusty and you're going to be maneuvering or you're going to be manipulating the yoke a lot for the approach, if you're at flaps 40, you can almost do it with 3 fingers. You know, it's like flying on Airbus almost. At flaps 30, you're going to be full grip on this and you're going to be muscling it down to the pavement. So I am here to squash the rumors that you only land flaps 30. Now, there may be some SOPs out there that say 30 is preferred, but for us, you can land whatever one you want, 15, 30, or 40. 15 is not encouraged only because of brake wear. When you land flaps 15, you're coming in even faster and you're going to start smoking those carbon brakes. So I am a flap 40 lover and I will continue to land it at flap 40. The max the 7.3 Max, to me, in my little experience so far, I prefer that at flaps 40 all the way. At flaps 30, she likes to float. I think it's those little winglets out there, smoother. It just, the Max is a beautiful bird at flying it. It does hand fly different. It does feel different than the NGs, and it is really smooth. It really, you can tell the difference. I would say you could tell the difference between a 7.3 NG and a 7.3 Max more than you can tell the difference between a 320 CEO and a 320 Neo. You really can feel the difference with the Max 7.3 versus the NG, and I really prefer it. And then when I did my Guatemala, I flew down to Guatemala at night, and I was really hoping we were going to get a 7.3 Max, all the bells and whistles, you know, the VSD, all that good stuff. No. We're in a Block 1 NG that didn't even have EGIPWIZ. It had the older MCP panel, had the older everything. But that was a whole lot of fun. I'm gonna recreate my Guatemala flight, my first ever Guatemala flight. I had to do one of those South American terrain critical airports for my checkout to be terrain qualled. They call it Latin terrain qual. So that was fun. We'll have to redo that flight. Totally different than what we did in the Airbus going down there. Captain Chemtrails, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Says 40 burns more fuel. It does, but I mean, I'm not paying for fuel. Are you paying for fuel? You are in your profit sharing check, probably. Also not preferred in gusty winds because it's easier to OSP5. No, Captain Chemtrails. Hold up, Captain Chemtrails. So this is where the rumor. Now, again, I'm not saying that you're incorrect. I'm just saying I thought that too, but at flaps 40. It's actually not a limiting speed. It's a blowback speed. So what happens when you exceed 155 at 40? They blow up to 30. It's not a ride-up. It's not an overspeed. That's how our books are, and that's what my check airman told me. Because I thought the same thing. I was like, ooh, do I really want to do that and have, a nose? She's like, what are you talking about? It's just a blow-up speed. So if you exceed that limit, they blow up to 30. Not a big deal. And when you get below it, guess what? They'll come back to 40, right? So, but, it's unstable for you? Ah, see, that's not how it was for us, or that's not how it was explained to me. Yeah, see, and there we go. See, that is a perfect example of SOPs, guys. Right? So everyone's going to have slightly different SOPs for the most part. But yeah. All right, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, landing. I got to see exactly how far the tailwind is here. Runway, we're going to land at sea level. Temperature is basically going to be 0. And we got to calculate the wind. I said it was 080 at 26. 080 at 26. Runway heading 233. Oh, I don't think we're going to be able to do it, guys. That's over 20 knots on the tail. We can't do that. We could do runway 14. We're going to do runway 14. 14 has an approach, I believe, an ILS. Yeah, we're going to have to do the ILS to 14. We only need a half mile or RVR 2600. So that is going to be, we're going to do runway 14 approach into Halifax. Course is 143. Yeah, we can't, not with that attitude. No, we're not going to do a 20 knot tailwind and blowing snow. All right, 143. I just want to double check here. At 080. Might get the gust factor in here. 080, 26 knots. I'm going to make it 27 knots at 140. Yeah, 11 knots with a 25 knot crosswind. That's going to be spicy, but we can do it. So we're going to plan for the 14. We're going to plan for 14. Turk says, I'd say 95% of our bus landings here are flaps full. People really use flaps full? People really use flaps full? Really use flaps 3. Flaps 3, oh yeah. Yeah, same in the bus. I always landed the bus full. I think I landed the bus flaps 3, a handful of times just because of winds or go around rather. XP72, my man, good to see you, dude. Hope all is well, XP. Good to see you, man. Thanks for the text, my man. Hey, so I never texted you back. That's my bad. I unplugged completely, man. I got back from training, locked the phone away. Well, I didn't lock it away. I literally threw it in a cabinet. I was like, I'm done with all things social media and everything. I just needed to unplug, man. So, but I did get all the information, and that looks sweet, man. I can't wait to test it out. Thanks for that. Appreciate you, man. Actually, I saw your you released the RMP video today as well. The little radio panel, that looks awesome. XP has gone full blown. Pretty soon, XP is going to be saying that his favorite airplane is the Airbus, and all this time, I've been saying, you know, or all this time he's been saying Boeing is his favorite airplane, and I've been saying Airbus is my favorite airplane, and now he's going full Airbus, and I'll be full Boeing. Mathis, what's up, man? I don't think I've ever seen anybody stream with that display layout. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? So this is the old NG layout for Southwest when they first got it was the 700, right? And to keep commonality with their classics, they had this display layout for a short period of time. Now, they weren't using auto throttle or VNAV with this display layout, to my knowledge, but it's pretty neat. Did you get the Airbus handle from Blackbird? I have not yet, man. Dude, like I said, McGee, I've been out, man. I haven't done anything flight sim. Is there a yaw damper on here? What's going on? Why are we starting to move around? We got a 42 knot wind. Not too bad. But yeah, I haven't done anything Airbus or anything flight sim. Continental used a lab. Oh, did they really? Captain Chemtrails? Continental use this too? Nice. Did they use VNAV? An auto throttle? It was Southwest, right? I think that was right. I think it was Southwest that didn't use the auto throttle in the VNAV until mid-20 teens. Sam says, have you landed with the auto throttles on every single flight? Every single one, man. Sam, yeah, I've kept the auto throttle on, but minus one approach. There was one approach we did for check airmen. Just want to see it for IOE. Just everything off. No flight directors, no nothing. No automation. So I did that. Other than that, though, Sam, I left the auto throttle on every landing. And I think it's great, man. It reminds me of the Embraer when you just overrode the throttles. It's so much nicer than the Airbus in that regard, because when you're on approach in the Airbus and you're in windy conditions, you feel yourself getting slow, you're just kind of at the mercy of what's going to happen next, because you can't override the thrust levers unless you disconnect the auto thrust, right? We definitely got some Dutch roll going on here. Let me check my yoke. I don't know. Vodka gave me a new yoke profile. I think he screwed everything up. Let me see if this stabilizes it here. It was V1, or correct V1 says Haas. It was a 7 Southwest auto throttle. Okay, cool. That's not the yoke, because I disconnected the yoke. Just a little turbulence, I guess. Do you get yoke feedback on your setup and go through turbulence? Falcon Eye, you can. I've turned mine off because I just don't like the way that Brunner, I guess I should say, I just don't like the way that the yoke feels with turbulence, because it's trying too hard to make you feel it, if that makes any sense at all, which it may not. Real turbulence is more random and sporadic. And the way that Brunner does turbulence, I'm just not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan of how it feels. So, let me try recycling this yaw damper up here. Interesting. Should we do our drag trim sex? Let's go heading select. Heading select, start the chrono. Yeah, it's just turbulence, really. I guess there's nothing we can do about it. We're 50 pounds out of balance. Do we need to do any, nope, everything's in trim. That looks good. We'll go back to LNAV. Just hang on to your seats back there. It seems excessive, though. I love how short and stubby this 600 is, though. I'm getting my butt kicked with turbulence on the realistic setting right now. Ooh, did I have mine on realistic? Let me see. Let's take a quick look, real quick. Settings, assistances, turbulence. Ooh, medium? Let's try low. Let's just see if that reduces that oscillation. Swappy, what's up, my man? Turk Karen, good to see you, buddy. I'm flying the Phoenix 320 and I got IDG 1 and 2 overheat. Am I cooked? Yes. No, you're not cooked. Your IDGs are cooked. Start the APU and divert. Start the APU. Start the APU before you disconnect them. Start the APU before you disconnect those IDGs. Actually, that we probably have to just descend and do a battery start anyway. Wish FlyJ Sim release the new version of 732? Yes, I know. Pixelated Wolf. I don't think it's going to happen for a while, though, my man. Unfortunately. Any other 7.3 myths you can bust after training and flights? About myths, but just things like I said. I never flew the 7.3 until now. So anything I knew or any type of quote-unquote procedure or technique that I learned about the 7.3 was all from flight sim. And I was under the impression that there are certain flap settings that you just always skipped, like flap 2, flap 10, flap 25. You know, you would just go from 5 to 15, 30, and 40 if needed. Again, SOPs can be different, and they are different from airline to airline. But for us, there's really no... I mean, so it's common to skip flap 10 just because if you if you're gonna go to 15, wait, no, hold on, what was I trying to say? Was it, yeah, 15? Yeah, it's common to skip 15 because going from 5 to 10 really isn't gonna gain you that much. In terms of trying to get stable, because I think once you go past flaps 5, you're probably getting close to configuring, right? You're either going to be going gear down soon, so you're going to be flaps 15 gear down. But there are instances in which squeezing in flaps 10 may give you a little bit more margin. So that would be a time that we would use flaps 10. I used flaps 10 once on a long downwind coming into DFW actually on my first trip. But yeah, we use them all. 1, 2, 5, 10. We skip 2. We skip 2. That's the only one we skip, pretty much. But everything else is 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, and 40. Flaps 10 for us is good to hold glide slope going 180 if you're far out on ILS. Yes. Yep. That's exactly, yeah, that's, yep. Long downwind, long final. Yep. That's what we were talking about, yeah. So flaps 10, that's, I know it's not really myth, just techniques, right? That I have learned. Let's see what else is there. Oh, I learned that there are aircraft flying around that aren't enhanced GPWIS. Some of our old birds, like I said, the old Block 1s, don't have the enhanced part of the GPWS system, which is pretty wild to think. There is a takeoff configuration switch in the 737 if you don't have it on Thrive. It's installed. I did press and trigger a takeoff config warning with the takeoff config switch, so it does exist, and Full Flap Sim owes me $100. So if we ever see him flowing through the chat, he's going to need to pay up. He said there's no such thing, and I said yes, there is, and there is. Just an option, right? Are you going to get Black Square Caravan? I don't think I've ever been excited for something that slow. Mick Oatmeal, what's up, man? You know what? Yes, of course I'm going to get the Black Square Caravan. I'd love to support Black Square at any airplane they release just because I really like Nick. I like who he is and just his passion for all things flight sim and aviation in general. And while the Caravan doesn't particularly excite me, having a true Caravan with analog gauges is going to be very exciting. So I will definitely be picking that up. We could fly some old freight routes on that, which will be fun too. PT6 Classic Jet Sim Pilot, exactly. Descend? No, I don't have descent yet. I'm actually going to switch my arrival around. Let's do that real quick, Vodka. Let's go ahead and get back to work here. So arrival Halifax, we're going to do ILS 14. And off the ILS 14, I'm looking at my real world charts here. It's just a little bit easier. Let's take it off Mode. Take it off Mode, execute. And the star, Peggy 5. That's going to change this. Should be out to Dunby. Tusky, execute. Let's make sure that all changed. Let's go plan mode, legs. Let's step through this. Edgar, let's get rid of. Oh, one thing that I really dislike about the 7.3 is the data key. And I knew this even in Flight Sim World. When you press data on your MC or your EFIS rather, it gives you the time Z. I could care less about the time Z. I want to know the speed restriction. Like if there was a speed restriction at ILATA, which there is, 210 knots max, it doesn't show you on the ND. What is the point of even having a data key? Because if you don't have your altitudes up, when this becomes the two waypoint, the altitude will be displayed on the ND. So it's almost redundant, but why on earth do we want to put the friggin' time Z instead of airspeed on fixes? That's a 7.3 thing that I just, I'm like, oh, that's a terrible idea. Came up with that. But let's go here all the way out to Dunby. There we go. So out to Dunby, and then Modir is the approach. And I'm going to actually, we'll extend it off of TTAR, so we don't have to do that Modir fix. But everything looks good. I'm going to make, that's 5,000 at ILATA. Yeah, 5,000 hard altitude. Okay, so that's all set up. Let's go to descent page, TOD, 110 miles. Now we'll be good to go here. We're getting bumped around pretty good. Is Real Cat Turb any good? Is anyone using it? Here's the thing. I don't like any injection turbulence. I think in medium or low in flights in 2024 turbulence is just fine. Realistic is a bit much with certain airplanes, like with the 7.3, with the Phoenix. Realistic turbulence, while I think it's fun and adds a level of challenge, I don't think it's very realistic. But medium and low is fine to me. I don't know. I know there's some people that use Real Cat Turb and all that, but maybe it's just me. I don't really have a desire to simulate turbulence. I know Turkarian, if Turkarian is still here, he loves his turbulence. Drew Smith, 15 months support. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for all the support for 15 months, dude. The last 3 months, 4 months have been pretty thin on the content. I do apologize. There'll be more. I'll probably stream tomorrow, perhaps. We'll probably stream tomorrow. Might do a night stream here and there, Tuesday, Wednesday. That all depends. Like I said, I go out on to long call reserve in 737, my first long call reserve on Thursday. With the weather that's happening right now, I have a very good inkling that I will be used all 3 days. But we'll see. Where is the Cloud Turb? I don't have Cloud Turb on right now, Turk. We deal with turbulence enough in the real world. True, that's another reason why. Why would I want to deal with turbulence in the sim? Classic Jet? Yeah, this is PT6 on that. I want to see V1 landing on water. I would like to get we have float plane anywhere? What I am interested about, but you say something about push button on the center, all that stuff. Sam, like you said, how about the lack of a push to the center of the heading knob? That's also a thing that drives me nuts. Can't center the heading bug. Also, it should just auto center. So on the bus, if you had your heading bug out here, say 050, after, what is it, 30 seconds, Turk, something like that, there's a certain amount of time where it will just automatically, okay, well, you're not using it, and it will snap you to your present heading. Which I don't know how Boeing didn't incorporate that, at least on the MAX. At least on the MAX. I understand the NG was built in the early 18th century. At least it feels like it. But I don't understand how they don't put that little piece of software in the code for the MAX. But I am I was very surprised at how much I enjoyed flying the Max over the NG, just in terms of hand flying. It just seems, everything seems smoother, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it being newer. Just, is it a new airplane? The cables aren't stretched out? I don't know. There is more going on hydraulically with the Max. There is some more assistance going on. So I'm pretty sure it is just because it is a Max. It flies really nice. It really does. And it lands really nice. At flaps 30 on the Max, it tends to be a bit floaty, which would make sense. You know, if you've got those just a little bit more floaty at flaps 30, you got a little bit more wing because of your winglets on the Max. But at flaps 40 on the Max, it's perfect every time. At least I feel like it is. It's a perfect amount of bring the power to idle, flare, and she comes down nice and easy. The NG, even though I do like landing the NG flaps 40, you do have to be careful if you bring the power out too early. I haven't had any real bone-crushing, smashing landings yet. I did have one that wasn't awesome. It was my flap 15 was actually the worst landing I did because I was so concerned about floating it that I didn't flare. We just kind of hit. But we didn't, it wasn't, I've had way harder landings, even in the Airbus, so I know I will be humbled. I know my time is coming. I know it is coming. It's just I haven't had it yet. Long call, get more in short call? Yes. But technically I can get that first day is, you know, at least I don't have to commute out day before, right? Because the amount of flights that we have. Technically, though, I think there is a window where it get a little bit tight. But the way I read it, I'm still learning. Man, dude, learning how to bid, Turks, is like, I know how to do PBS, and I think I'm starting to figure it out. I mean, I didn't even look for bidding or anything because I figured I'm just going to get shafted and, coverage awarded anyway, being junior, so it doesn't really matter right now. But now that I'm done with training, I'm starting to look at how the platform works. Getting used to the platform and the PBS is weird for me. But yeah, I know long calls get used more, but there's a chance I don't have to go out a day early on it, so that's why I'm going for it. I believe the 7.8 you have the heading sync. I think you're right, Sam. You have heading sync on the 7.8. You're correct. Do you suggest default 24 and weather injection or active sky? Tornado, I always, and I have still stand by this with Microsoft Flight Sim, not X-Plane, but with Microsoft products, try to keep it as default as possible for stability. We've all been, if you flew FSX, FS9, we all know the tinkering and the hassles of reconfiguring stuff, so I try to just keep my sim as vanilla as possible, and I'll be honest with you, if I thought that Microsoft 2024 needed Active Sky, then I would entertain it. I had Active Sky, Rex Sky, all that stuff in the older versions of Microsoft and X-Plane 12, which really needed it. But in default 2024, man, it's honestly, the weather is so dynamic and it changes the way I think, at least believable to me. You know, there's nothing about the weather that is glaring off or glaringly, you know, turns me off from flying in it, that I would rather just have a default with the added stability of not messing with Active Sky. But some people want more. They want to be able to tweak shaders and contrast and things like that, and that's fine. I am all about less tweaking. No tweaky for me. I just want to boot up the sim and go. So, another fun fact, 7.3 fun fact. You see these vortex generators here on the nose? Make a big difference in terms of audio levels in the cockpit. The airplane, so I remember I told you I flew an old block. I flew an old block, I call it Block 1. So at my particular operator, we have multiple variants of 7.3. We've got our Block 1s, which are the OG old ones. Like, I don't even know when they got delivered. 90s, 80s? OGs. And then we have Block 2, Block 3, and Max. And the ones that are Block 1, not only are they just louder because it feels like there's no insulation, but the vortex generators really do make a difference on the windscreen, the wind noise. So we have the vortex generators on this one, but I flew the Block 1 without it, Significantly louder. Significantly louder. This is the view I'm used to right here. When's Tour de America's happening? Man, I don't know, dude. Well, I just need more time. I really wanted to fly. I wanted to break away from the 7.3 today and fly some MD-80 ops, but I had delivery issues and I just didn't have enough time. I wanted to stream today, but I also wanted to do some late afternoon stuff with the fam, so I wasn't going to be able to sit here and do our normal like 11 to 3 p.m. streaming. So I said I'm just going to fire up the 7.3 because I know it works. Everything's working. But the next stream will I really want to do MD-80 ops. I want to go back to DFW. Any builds DFW, maybe do a two-legger like Dallas to San Antonio and back. I think that'd be cool. Get some so we can see the new MD-80, the anniversary edition, which is really good. 48 miles to TOD. I'm going to scroll in 5,000 here while I'm looking at it. And maybe next month, man. Maybe we'll do some Tour de Americas next month. I'm not a fan of our PBSDs where options only thing having 7 layers for lines is annoying. Oh, Turks, so do you have to fill out all 7 layers? So for someone like me who's only going to be shafted on reserve with coverage awards, I really only care about my first layer is give me a line at all costs, right, which I can figure that out. And then everything else is just reserve. Like I know I'm going to be on reserve. So do I have to fill out all 7 layers? I think I filled out 4 of the 7 last time with different reserve preferences. And I learned about the must off versus prefer off, which it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So never use a must off bid, especially in your last layer. So I'm learning that, but you do not have to fill out all layers. Okay, good. Like I said, for me it's not going to matter anyway for right now. But good info, man. Appreciate you. I had Active Sky installed in 2020 way back. They had issues with clouds not showing up. Yeah, Mix, that's kind of, you know, I'm the same way. I know you can make it work and it'll be great, but less tinkering for me is the way to go. Let me see here. Let me go, where's my cruise? MC, we can at least keep track of where we are here. TOD's coming up. Clippy, what's up, man? You know what's funny, Sam? I had a dream last night that I got a Cancun turn off a reserve. I had a dream that I proffered for a trip, which I don't even know how to do a proffer on reserve, but I had a dream that I proffered for a deadhead to DFW, a Cancun turn, and a deadhead back. Isn't that pretty fun? I just like, man, my mind is just cooked. I'll tell you what, 22 hours of OE was exhausting because there is no chill. We do a 4-hour flight from Guatemala. There is no chill in cruise. It's constant, you know, because the Czech airmen have 560 items they have to talk to you about. They have to brief you on. So there is no chill. I'm just like, at the end of it, I was really, I didn't tell you guys my commute story. So David, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, man. I really appreciate you. Very, very kind. If you pick up a membership from David, shout him out and say thank you, man. I appreciate the 5 gifted subs here for the channel. So get this. I'm finishing up my 3-day trip. It's really, was it a 3-day or 4-day? No, it's a true 3-day, but it's a long 3-day. So day 1, I decided to commute out day of. So I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning, commute out to my base, fly all night, and that's the day we end up in Guatemala at midnight. So, I mean, it was a solid 22-hour day of awake time, and the last hour was the most intense part because you're flying into Guatemala City at night in the weather, although the weather was pretty good, so no weather, at night in the mountains, new to the airplane. Just super intense, right? That's day 1. Day 2, same thing, long day. Day 3, also intense. Got to go back to DCA. Haven't been to DCA in over 10 years. It was awesome to go back there, hang out there. I did the River Visual 1.9 at Flaps 40, hand flown. Was freaking cool. Got to do that. Maybe we'll do that on the next stream. Although everyone's getting tired of seeing 7.3 content, so maybe we'll fly something else. But I haven't flown the River Visual in 10 years. And it was so much fun to do it in the 7.3 Flaps 40. Just flying down the river. So all this stuff, it's been long, right? It's a long trip. I want to go home. There's one flight option for me to get back. We get in late. We get in, I think, at 9 o'clock is our scheduled arrival time. The last flight out to my home is at 10 p.m. So doors close 15 prior. So I got 45 minutes. My check airman is got to do the debrief, right? Because it's we're going to be doing our debrief, etc. 10 miles TOD. So I'm like, okay, there's going to be about a 15, 20 minute debrief period. I should still have 20 minutes to get to my flight. So we start out last leg, not starting out good. Flight attendants are coming from a different airplane. They're not here. Airplane coming in, not on time. So I'm like, oh, this is not looking good. It's not looking good. We get our numbers, fast forward through pushback, all that stuff. Pushback from the gate, final closeout numbers come through. We're too heavy. So now, it's me being the new guy. It's just like, okay, I'm running through all the performance things that we have to do, trying to get new numbers, make it work. That takes an extra, whatever amount of time. Get everything done. Finally get the taxi out, blast off, headed home. ETA on the time of arrival is, I think it's like 9:15 or something. Oh man, we got plenty of time. I should still be good. I have like 20 minutes. We land, door pops open. I'm like, and we're done briefing. I'm like, man, I've got 20 minutes to catch my flight. This is perfect. Down we go, top of descent. 20 minutes to catch my flight. Tap on the shoulder. Drug test. I got popped for a random drug test on IOE, which I don't think that's random if you ask me. They're probably just like, got to make sure we check all these guys. Oh, I never put in the descent winds. We're going to be cooking. Let's get the speed brake out. Forgot to do all that normal descent stuff. So I get popped for a drug test. And the drug test location is, I don't know, a mile away from where I need to be. So I'm trying to find where I'm in the bowels of the airport, trying to figure out where this office is to do my drug testing. Finally find it. The guy there is the slowest guy I've ever talked to, but you don't want to rush it. You don't want to make it weird because, I mean, if you pop positive on a drug test in airlines one time, that's it. You're pretty much done. So you want to make sure everything is done right. But you can imagine I'm standing there like just watching the minutes melt off the clock like, yep, I'm going to miss my flight, going to miss my flight, going to miss my flight. Long story short, I get done with drug testing. I've got 10 minutes to go from one end of the airport all the way to the other end of the airport. I'm running. I go up to the terminal connector. I'm on the terminal connector. I'm running, and then I get a text from a random number. And I'm like, who's this? It's one of the crew members on the flight that I listed for. They saw me listed and checked in. And there's an app they can use to figure out who I am and said, hey, are you going to, I saw you're checked in for the jump seat. Are you going to make this? And I was able to say, yeah, I'm running. I'm from over here at this gate. I'm coming. And so they didn't push early, like what is it, 15 early or whatever. They waited till I got there and I got on and I made it. I was so happy. But I mean, that was just like, it was icing on the cake. I've never had that happen before. Like someone comes like, hey, someone actually had the forethought to look and go that far. So it was really cool. I made my flight home and got home at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So it was a long, long trip. But I couldn't believe that. Freaking drug tested on my first trip first OE trip. Like, really? But it was awesome. I would have at least texted you back saying, oh no, we just pushed. T-Tug Company. That would have been savage. That would have been savage, dude. We just pushed. All right, let's pay attention. We actually didn't set anything up here. All right, so 1093, 143. Let's get this set up here. I need to do a long haul so we can really get a full debrief. I feel like every stream I've done here has been fire hosing through everything. 1091. Maybe we should do a long haul. Maybe we should go Dallas to maybe we should DFW Guatemala in a 7.3 Max and the iFly Max. Well, let's see, who would that be? Other than American, who could go down? Latam? They do that route? I take it you failed the drug test? No, because you have not failed it. I definitely would have been notified. We're out of 18. Let's go ahead and set. Jeez, did you see the altimeter spinning? Man, what is the pressure? We gotta look. All right, that's coming off. We'll get all the ice on. Boom, boom, boom. We did our landing. We got a crosswind. All right, let's go ahead and dial this descent speed back here if we can. 330. Let's do 290. If you can help us out here. 290. Execute. All right, we're catching up. 143 set both sides. What are the minimums for the approach? Man, 641 on the barrel. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see this, but we're gonna try. Oh, I need to hold. It's the only thing. Oh wait, I'm using wind wing. I should be able to do. There we go. Yeah, works properly. 641 on the barrel. Just copy my side. All right, 641 a set. Don't do that in real life. 143. We got 109. 109.1. We're gonna use flaps 40. 123 is set. 109.1 flaps 40 set. Cross check both sides. Auto brake 3. Do we use the HUD? We might need it. We might need the HUD. Let's set it up. All right, primary IMC. Elevation is touchdown 441. Meters landing distance for 1-4, 2347. Primary A3 arm 3 degrees. All right, A3 is armed 3 degrees. Coming through 10,000. We're gonna start slowing up. Let's get the retracts out. Flight 10 spare for landing. All right, let's run it. Descent check, altimeters. What is the meter? What did it eventually settle at? Where's the altimeter on this? Where's the, oh, there it is. 3013 set, cross check, approach preps complete, pressurization check, terrain display is off on, let's put terrain on the FO side. Terrain's on one side, weather on the other. Lights set, set checks complete, approach briefings complete, seatbelts on, PA's complete, recall checked, auto brakes 3. HUD is set, radios and displays. We got 143, 109.1. Both sides set and cross check to the line. All right, before landing check is to the line is completed. Barrel is now 2955. What? I hit magic barrel ref. It says 3014 for Halifax. It does say 29 or 56 on my METAR. Why is that? Does it not auto set it properly? Let's slow down. Let's just slow for let's do this. It's 200 on the speed, please. Who's that? Captain Minnesota, man. Sorry I missed that, dude. I'm not... Oh, an AJ. Dudes, I'm sorry. I'm not getting audio for YouTube notifications. AJ, thank you for the 20 gifted subs, man. I really appreciate you, dude. Very kind. I appreciate the 20 gifted subs, AJ. And Captain Minnesota, 5 gifted subs as well, dude. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate both y'all for the gifted memberships. Y'all are very kind. I'm sorry I missed those donos. I don't know why I'm not getting any audio. But thank you both. And AJ, appreciate you, man. Big 20, bro. Team Vodka says he's $50 to be 700 feet high over the threshold. Well, I'm concerned too. Why does it say 3014 in the sim? We are live weather, right? Yeah, everything is live. I'll keep updating. 3014. Alright, we're level changing down to 210. turn the... weather radar turn down. What does ATIS say? That's a great question. 121, nothing. I think I have it turned off. Oh, digital ATIS? Halifax. ATC stations. None. Nearby ATC stations. None. Can I tune in default ATIS? I should have it though. Not picking it up. Oh, that's on VHF too. That's right. That's fine. What's up? Let's see, wife is asking me about lunch. Is this a real cockpit setup? It was, Emmanuel David. So, Southwest and Continental, according to Captain Chemtrails, told us Continental used to run this in the early 2000s as well. So, while you won't see it anymore, at least to my knowledge, but yes, when the NGs first started coming out, there were some aircraft that ran this type of display for commonality of their classic 7.3s. 3015 on the meter. Take Tut, thanks for the $5 super chat. He says he's new to streaming, guys, so figure out the alerts by 100K subs in the Africa tour. Take Tut company. Dude, I want to do an Africa tour so bad. I really do. My only thing is I just don't have the, I don't know, man. I want to. There's so many things I want to do, man. If I could stream from my house, you know how much more content I could make? It'd be so much better, man. I'm thinking about investing in the latest and greatest Starlink, because Starlink has some new stuff now. Like a newer router, a newer modem, more powerful and all this stuff. It may be capable of streaming. The only problem is I won't know it until I actually do a full stream. You can't really test it. I have to test it under full load with notifications, people in the chat, all the stuff running. So it's hard to make a, and it's like a probably be close to $3,000 purchase to do all that stuff, to get all the new Starlink stuff. And if it doesn't work, it's like, well, dang it. Yeah. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how, you know, this summer is going to be weird with my schedule, man. It's going to be until I can get back home where I'm based at home and I can hopefully sit at reserve for my home base. Then we'll probably get back to a little bit more normalization of content, but for right now, it's just going to be so hit or miss, and you can imagine, man, I'm going to be gone a lot more, and I am gone more now than my kids are kind of used to from my last job, you know, where I had obviously, you know, 10 years of seniority can buy you a lot of time at home. So the time that I am off, I am really trying to maximize it with the fam, but you guys are my second family. I really enjoyed streaming and making content for you guys too. I truly, I love doing this. So, just trying to find that sweet spot, you know, how to balance the time. Yeah, Haas, it's about 3K, because I have the OG dish from Starlink. And it's great. I mean, it's great for what I use it at home. I mean, everybody can have the TVs on. You can be streaming 4K video. Like, it's great. But the upload speed is there to stream. Now, it wouldn't be there to stream in 2K. But with the latest Starlink, you could get enough upload speed to do 2K streaming. But I wouldn't even be worried about that. But the problem is it's not about speed. It's about latency. And having that wireless, I don't know. I just don't know. We'll see. Just giving you a hard time, man. Family first. Thank you, T-Tut Company. I appreciate you, man. And here, the other thing, T-Tut, I still got my terrible towel. I'm going to hang it up here in the HQ. I've got I'm putting together a little something for a little podcasting. So you'll be seeing it soon, T-Tut Company. All right, so we're leveling out here. We're fine right now. I'm going to get the data off that so I can zoom in here. It's hard to see it's like flying around with the VSD on an NG. It's just too small. I'm going to let it turn me to downwind, and then we'll descend to 3,000. Matter of fact, yeah, we'll hit the turn, then we'll hit 3,000 after Modir right here. And we'll blast down. And then we'll extend the line, so we'll be looking good. Halifax traffic, southwest 357, 5,000 feet, getting ready to turn downwind. It's going to be a right downwind for runway 14 Halifax. WestJet, are you in the area?
Yeah, WestJet's in the area. We're about 10 from Outfits. We're going to take the AirNet 205 straight in.
Rush that. All right, so we'll get down. We're turning downwind now. Level change, 3,000. Let's go flaps 5. Speed 180. All right, so we're on downwind. Actually, I should have bugged flap speeds are still the same, right? Yeah, it's the same. 180. Let's extend the line here. So let's go T-tar, bring it to the top. Final 143. Execute. Heading select. T-tar is at 3,000. Halifax traffic at Southwest 357, turn to base, runway 14. Four for 3.
2,500.
Oh, flight recorder. Been kind of a fire hose stream, guys. I do apologize for that. We get to talking. I'm like, man, I don't know if I have enough time to stream this long. And then I get live. I go live. We get talking, man. We need to do a long haul. Long haul's coming up. We're either going to do a 7.3 long haul in the Max, or we should do a long haul in the Phoenix, since we haven't flown it forever. Look for the poll to mean nothing and come at you this week. All right, we're turning this way. So we're going to wait till our wings level before arming the approach, or else it will do weird things. Is T-tar the final? No. We're going to do it. Amano is 1,800. Recommended 3,000 to glide slope intercept. So this is a little bit different. Recording is on, so I don't forget. Again, if you just tuning in, please do me a huge solid, hit that like button. Since I'm not making a ton of content right now, the content that I do push out, if you hit the like button, it really helps the algorithm. The last video we did a fire hose stream of the 7.3. That thing did really well, so that's all on you guys for hitting that like button. I appreciate you. That's the best way you can show me your support. One of the best ways. Thank you. Max range Starship Duke stream. That would be something too. I could watch a movie. All right, localizer glide slope is armed. Typically we wouldn't do this here, but the way the feathered glide slope is on this approach, it's not right at Amano. You might actually have to start down early. Recommended 3,000 with total glide slope intercept, hard altitude of 1,800 until Imano. So we'll keep that in mind. Let me do an update on the Barrow. I am highly concerned with the barometric altimeter being 3014, while the ATIS is showing 29 or 55. That's going to either be detrimental or just a simism there. All right, localizer's captured. Glide slope is armed at 3,000. We are below the slope, so we're looking good there. How the wind's doing? 42 knots across. We're good. Right. All right. Cams are set. Gear's set. A3 arm. Do I have the HGS panel over there? I do. Halifax traffic, Southwest 357 on flight runway 14 just outside of Teton. Halifax.
Southwest 357, what's your distance?
What's my distance? You said what's my distance? We are 10 miles out.
Alright, WestJet 646 for 7 miles up, 205.
Roger that. We'll slow us back to right now. All right, we're slowing down. Throw the gear. Flaps 15. Init ref speed 128. Wouldn't set that until the flaps are out. See, we get the alpha speed there. But we're going to slow down here. Our final is going to be 128. I don't know if you're going to be any faster than that. Flaps 30. Flaps 40.
I'm fine, I'm only 6.
Lasso in effect. Lasso. I don't know if we. That's like. Whew, I'm not in this condition. Probably do it dry. Yeah, real world ATIS is 2955 exactly. That's why I'm highly concerned. I'm also. You would never want to fly fully configured here. Oh my goodness! Now it's updated. 2968. Good thing it was lower. We're 2,500. We're below the recommended 3,000 to 40 mono. That could have been bad, but we're okay. Like I said, that's a simism there. I didn't realize it would wait so long to update. Look at the FPV all the way out here. What? That is wild. Glide slope's coming in. If we have to go missed, straight out, 3,000. 3,000 is set. Before landing checklist below the line. Speed brakes, armed, green light, gear, down and green, flaps 40, green lights.
WestJet 646, 3 miles, 05.
Halifax, Southwest 357, 4.3 miles, 14. Actually, 6. Actually, it's going to be about 6 miles, so we should be good. 70% N1 because we're level flight flaps 40, yes. I only did this because Rock
yeah,
is
we're going
on
to
crossing.
land a little short anyway.
Alright, he's going to land a little short. Beautiful. There's glide slope. Misapproach altitude set 3,000. Approach practice. We don't have time for that. Ain't no time to go around. We gotta go get lunch. Alright, we're Yamato inbound using reserve fuel. Check. Actually, we're south. Oh, we got that. Good. WestJet, if you got a pilot port when we broke out. It's probably the flare. Halifax traffic Southwest 357 at 3 miles, runway 14. icing on our windshield wipers. What's our mins? 660, 641.
That's all I.
1,000.
I'm sorry, what?
Just advisory, runway position is 000.
Excellent. Dual channel. Oh, it's too late to go dual. It's too late to go. Is it too late to go dual? Yep. Son of a gun. That's actually modeled. Look at that. Oh, we're cooked, Chad. We're cooked. We are cooked. We did not set up. We can't. Oh, we have to. Shut this off again. Not supposed to auto land a single channel. Oh, I have ground contact. Approach lights.
Approaching minimums.
Continue.
100. Minimums. 30, 20, 10.
Oh, we saved that flaps 40, I'll tell you what. Oh my gosh. Manual brakes. We almost kablamoed, and we almost had to go around because we almost flew. We were down 100% legal. It was ugly. That was ugly, but that was smooth. We did not smash that. Almost smashed. We almost Airbus flared it there. Too much pitch. You know why? I'll tell you what it is. I know exactly why I flared so hard. The 737 yoke, real world, if I put the same amount of pressure on my Brunner force feedback yoke, I'd be moving my desk. So this yoke is actually about probably 50 to 60% of what the actual yoke feels like in terms of pull force. So I put in real world pull force and we flared too hard, but we saved it. All right, what is this? Mike? Yeah, we'll take Mike. That's gonna be a sick replay though. Staying on the captain sheepskin. Oh my word. That was sweet. Good call on flying out here, Vodka. Good call, man. Alright, flaps up. add it to the yeah, exactly. Add it to the list. I used real world pull force and flared too hard. Why wouldn't I have gone dual channel? Because we're inside the final approach fix. There's a mileage to it, I believe. Hey, where's chemtrails when you need them? I'm sure he knows. Inside a certain distance, you won't be able to go dual channel. At least that's how I understand it. Disarm, auto brakes coming off. Reset the trim 5 units. Sorry, no, not in stock sheepskins. Oh, that's too funny. Sheepskins are out of stock. We're gonna have to take this bird back to Providence. Nah, just kidding, we're not, but someone else is. This is gonna be a 45-minute taxi in. You guys mind if we just skip the taxi in and go right to the replay? I think we should just do that. Let's skip the taxi in and go to the replay. Let me see where the wife is. Absolutely teaked up. We'll see it. Oop, that's where we go. No way, the scenery is incredible. It's default scenery, right? What's that? Oh, I see what you're doing. Alright. Let's go right to the replay, and we'll wrap it up. Just because I want to, number one, I think we end up just. Oh, she's leaving in the store now. Okay, we got time. Let's just run it into the gate. This is the runway right here. We'll cross. I might have to save that replay. Actually, let's do that right now. I'm gonna save that. That replay is gonna be pretty sweet. That was low. That was low. Would you be as disappointed if you got a sign on 7.3? Nah, man, I picked it. I chose 7.3, and honestly, it's been awesome, man. Is it as comfortable? No. But I could do a full podcast on the differences between the 7.3 and the Airbus, and why one is one over the other. Look at this. Look at this weather, guys. I hope, I don't even know if my operator takes a 7.3 to Halifax. Like, I can't even turn. There's so much, the contamination on the ground is so, you really got to be careful. That's cool to see that modeled. That's really cool to see that model. Look at that, I'm just sliding. If I crank the nose wheel, look at our nose wheel. We're just slide. Gotta straighten it out. Slow it down, a little differential braking. There you go, and then just use the nose wheel like that. This is CYHZ, Halifax. First ever high-speed RTO was here. All right, brake set. We're not going to shut them down. We're doing a replay. That was spicy. Let's disconnect from the network. And let's fire the replay off right now. Let's go full screen. A lot of noise is happening. Flaps 40 coming in. Rearm the speed brake. Gear is down. Flaps are coming down. Sweet. I love it, man. I'm really curious to see how this landing ended up. Last time I flew in Halifax was 7.4. Yeah, in the sim world. Last time I flew into Halifax in a real jet was an Embraer 1. It's probably a 175, but I flew 190. I remember Halifax for three things. My first ever RTO high speed was an Embraer 190 in Halifax. That's one thing. I remember it for being snowed in and canceled and spending 5 days at the crew at the hotel there with the crew, and a lot of crazy Nova Scotians, which were awesome. Had a wonderful time. And isn't the guy-to-girl ratio in Halifax like 7-to-1 or something like that, or in Nova Scotia? A lot more women than men, at least it used to be. I don't know if that's true or not, but someone told me that. That's how I remember Halifax, those three things. But yeah, high-speed RTO. Stranded there for 5 days, 4 nights, and it was awesome. I think 736 is great value for money, swim and climb. Absolutely is. I love the 600, dude. I love the 73600. I like to pretend like you've seen here. I like to put some 500 liveries on it, some classic liveries on it. It's the 400, 500 that we'll never have in 2024. We got to run this forward because there's just nothing.
Minimums. Terrain.
Sports car variant, indeed. Airbus flare. Look at the windsocks. Oh, we saved it though. Look at that. Look at it set down. I love the snow effects. Let's see our touchdown here. Didn't really decrab it, did I? Not really. We landed crab. But I'll take that saving landing there. Let me see if we can do a, hold on. It's muted for a sec. Let's see, right about here. Reset hue. Boom. Reset. I'll do this and this. Let's see. I stayed at a local B&B near Halifax, and they had the best ever homemade Canadian pancake for breakfast. Yeah, oh, dude. I had amazing breakfast there. Oh, what happened to my snow? What happens if you don't decrab with this much ice cream? Just, you have the potential to, flight sim guy. You do want to decrab if you can help it. But you wouldn't just touch down and run off the runway. But you do want to decrab if you can help it. But you see how you can actually kind of see what happens there when I didn't decrab. Watch the aircraft position. So we land, and because we didn't decrab all the way, we end up running. I'm landing right of center line, or pretty much on it. But if I would have decrabbed earlier, we would have maintained that center line better. You know, we got a little left of center line. No, it wasn't. Oh gosh. Scroll down here in my office. It wasn't terrible, but it definitely could have been more on center line if I would have decrabbed. So, all right. I'm gonna run out of here. I'll let y'all have. I'll let you have one more from right here. There's not much to see. I'm gonna pack up ship. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow, but I'll definitely see you again before I get out of here later this week. So enjoy the replays. Thank you all for tuning in for the last minute fire hose stream. Until the next one, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See you.
Too low terrain. Too low terrain. Too low terrain.